The departure. The sun dipped toward the horizon, casting a golden glow over the bustling Honolulu harbor. Palm trees swayed gently in the trade winds, and the air was thick with the scent of plumeria and saltwater. The SS Paradise, a gleaming white behemoth of a cruise ship, loomed at the dock like a floating palace. At 1,000 feet long and boasting 15 decks, it was the crown jewel of Pacific luxe cruises, designed for ultimate indulgence. This was its maiden voyage, a 7-day Hawaiian island-hopping extravaganza, promising volcanic wonders, pristine beaches, and endless Mai Tais for its 1,200 passengers. Captain Elias Thorne stood on the bridge, his hands clasped behind his back, as he surveyed the scene. At 55, with a weathered face framed by salt and pepper hair and a neatly trimmed beard, he exuded the calm authority of a man who had navigated typhoons and tempests across the globe. His uniform was impeccable, the gold epaulets catching the light. "All systems go," he murmured to his first officer, a young woman named Sarah Ruiz, who nodded briskly while checking the navigation charts. Passengers streamed up the gangway, their laughter mingling with the calls of seagulls. Among them was Dr. Lena Vasquez, a 38-year-old marine biologist from San Diego. With her sun-kissed olive skin, curly dark hair tied in a practical ponytail, and piercing green eyes, she cut a striking figure in her casual sundress and sandals. Lena had booked this trip on a whim, desperate for a break after months of grueling fieldwork studying coral reefs in the Pacific. Her research grant had run dry, and the constant battle against climate change had left her exhausted. "This is for me," she whispered to herself, clutching her carry-on bag filled with books on Hawaiian ecology. Boarding just behind her was Marcus Hale, a 42-year-old tech entrepreneur whose cybersecurity firm had made him a multi-millionaire. Tall and lean, with a perpetual 5 o'clock shadow and wire-rimmed glasses, Marcus exuded the restless energy of Silicon Valley. He was accompanied by his assistant, Mia Chen, a 28-year-old prodigy with jet black hair cropped short and a tattoo of binary code peeking from her sleeve. Mia had started as a hacker in Marcus's company, quickly rising through the ranks with her sharp mind and unflinching loyalty. "Boss, you promised no work," she teased, as Marcus glanced at his buzzing phone. I know," he replied with a grin, "but you can't blame a guy for checking emails." In truth, Marcus was here to escape the burnout from his latest project, a revolutionary AI-driven security system. The cruise was his chance to recharge, though his laptop in his suite suggested otherwise. As the last passengers boarded, the ship's horn let out a triumphant blast, and colorful confetti exploded into the air. The SS Paradise eased away from the dock, its massive engines humming to life. On the Lido deck, a steel drum band played upbeat tunes, and waiters circulated with trays of tropical cocktails. Families posed for photos against the railing, honeymooners shared stolen kisses, and retirees settled into lounge chairs with sighs of contentment. But not all was as idyllic as it seemed. Deep in the engine room, amid the whir of machinery and the tang of oil, a group of 5 men posed as maintenance crew. They had infiltrated during the ship's final preparations in dry dock, their forged credentials flawless. Leading them was Viktor Kozlov, a 50-year-old former Russian naval officer turned mercenary. Broad-shouldered and scarred from battles and forgotten conflicts, Viktor had a shaved head and cold blue eyes that missed nothing. His team, Sergei, the wiry explosives expert with a penchant for chain smoking; Dmitri, the lanky communications wizard who could hack any system; Ivan, the hulking enforcer built like a bear; and Alexei, the youngest, their inside man who had spent months undercover as a shipyard worker. Victor's plan was meticulously crafted. Midway through the voyage, they would seize control, jam communications, and demand a $50 million ransom from Pacific Lux Cruises. The company had ruined his family years ago in a corporate scandal involving embezzlement and environmental negligence, polluting Russian waters where his father fished. This wasn't just about money, it was revenge. "Patience, comrades," Victor whispered in Russian as they pretended to inspect pipes. "Our time comes soon." As the ship sliced through the turquoise waters toward the Big Island, the first night fell like a velvet curtain. Stars emerged in the vast sky, and the moon silvered the waves. Lena stood at the stern railing, the wind tousling her hair. She watched phosphorescent plankton glow in the wake, a natural light show. Nearby, Marcus leaned against the rail, his phone in hand, despite the spotty signal. "Beautiful, isn't it?" Lena said, breaking the silence. He looked up, surprised. "Yeah, makes you forget the world for a bit." They chatted briefly about the islands, the sea, unaware that their paths would soon intertwine in ways neither could imagine. The calm before the storm. The second day dawned with flawless weather, the sun rising over the horizon like a fiery orb. The SS Paradise cruised steadily, its decks alive with activity. Yoga classes unfolded on the sun deck, where passengers stretched toward the sky, guided by an instructor in flowing white linens. In the pool area, children splashed joyfully, while parents lounged with books and sunscreen. The aroma of fresh pineapple and coffee wafted from the breakfast buffet, where chefs carved fruits into intricate sculptures. Captain Thorne made his morning rounds, greeting passengers with a warm smile. "How's the voyage so far?" he asked a group of retirees. "Smooth sailing, Captain," one replied, raising a mimosa. Thorne nodded, but his mind was on the weather reports. A distant storm system brewing, though nothing to worry about yet. Lena spent the morning in the ship's library, poring over maps of Hawaiian marine reserves. She had signed up for a snorkeling excursion later that day, off the coast of Hilo. "The biodiversity here is unparalleled," she told a fellow passenger, an elderly woman named Margaret, who shared her love of the ocean. As they talked, Lena felt a rare sense of peace. Marcus and Mia, meanwhile, attended a tech-free mindfulness workshop. Ironic, given Marcus's profession. "Breathe in, breathe out," the facilitator intoned. Mia rolled her eyes playfully, but Marcus tried, his mind wandering to the anomalies he'd noticed on the ship's Wi-Fi network the night before. "Something's off," he confided in Mia afterward. "Unusual pings, like someone's testing the firewall." "Probably just a glitch," Mia said, though she made a mental note to investigate. They headed to the arcade, where Mia dominated a virtual reality game, her hacker instincts translating seamlessly to digital battles. Below decks, Victor's team prepared. In a cramped storage room, they assembled their gear: compact submachine guns hidden in toolboxes, zip ties, flashbang grenades, and a portable EMP device to fry electronics. Sergei tested a small explosive charge, his fingers steady despite the risk. "These will disable the lifeboats without sinking us," he explained. Dmitri hacked into the ship's secondary systems, planting backdoors. "Comms will go dark on my signal," he said, his laptop screen glowing in the dim light. Ivan shadowboxed, his massive fists cutting the air. "I'll handle security," he grunted. Alexei, nervous but committed, reviewed the bridge layout. 2 guards at night, easy takedown. Victor oversaw it all, his voice low and commanding. "Remember, no unnecessary kills. We want ransom, not a massacre." But his eyes betrayed a deeper fury. By afternoon, the ship approached Hilo on the Big Island. Anchored offshore, tenders ferried passengers to excursions. Lena joined a group hiking through Volcanoes National Park, the ground steaming with geothermal activity. She marveled at the lava tubes and craters, the raw power of the earth mirroring the ocean's depths she knew so well. Pele's domain, their guide, a local Hawaiian named Kaimana, said reverently. Kaimana was an elder, his face lined with wisdom, his stories weaving ancient legends of gods and guardians. The islands are alive, Kaimana told the group. Disrespect them and they fight back. Lena nodded, feeling a connection to the land as profound as her bond with the sea. Marcus opted for a helicopter tour, soaring over lush rainforests and cascading waterfalls. Mia stayed aboard, discreetly scanning the network from their suite. Definite intrusion attempts, she muttered, her fingers flying over the keyboard. Internal IP addresses, someone on the ship. As evening fell, passengers returned, sun-kissed and exhilarated. The gala dinner in the grand ballroom was a spectacle. Crystal chandeliers, linen-draped tables, and a menu featuring fresh ahi poke and kalua pork. The band played Hawaiian classics, and couples danced under twinkling lights. Captain Thorne toasted the crowd, "To the spirit of aloha and the adventures ahead." Cheers echoed. Lena, seated at a communal table, overheard two crew members speaking in hushed Russian near the kitchen door. Her time in Siberia had given her basic proficiency. "Podgotовка готова," one said, "preparation is ready." She frowned, but the wine and laughter pushed the unease aside. Marcus noticed her glance. From across the room, he raised his glass in a silent toast. The night deepened, the ship rocking gently on the waves. The takeover. Midnight passed quietly, the ship a flowing city of dreams. Most passengers slumbered in their cabins, lulled by the ocean's rhythm. On the bridge, the night watch, 2 officers and a helmsman, monitored instruments under soft red lights. At 2 a.m., the plan ignited. Sergei slipped to the lifeboat stations, wiring C4 charges with precision. "Done," he radioed softly. Dmitri, in a utility closet near the radio room, activated the jammer, a sleek device emitting a broadband signal that drowned out all communications. Satellite phones beeped futilely, GPS screens flickered to black. "Comms down," he confirmed. Ivan and Alexei moved like shadows up the crew stairs. Bursting onto the bridge, Ivan's silenced pistol coughed twice, dropping the officers non-lethally with tranquilizer darts. The helmsman spun, but Alexei zip-tied him swiftly. Captain Thorne, alerted by an alarm, rushed in from his adjoining quarters, still in his pajamas. What in God's name? A gun barrel pressed to his forehead stopped him cold. Victor emerged from the darkness, his voice gravelly. "Captain Thorne, the SS Paradise is now mine. Cooperate, and your passengers live." Thorne's eyes narrowed. "Pirates in Hawaiian waters? You're insane." "Kalasu liberators," Victor sneered. "Your company owes a debt." Word spread through the crew quarters via internal alerts. Victor's team subdued key personnel, security, engineers, locking them in holds. Alarms blared ship-wide, not for fire or evacuation, but a lockdown code sealing bulkhead doors electronically. Lena bolted upright in her bed, heart pounding. Her phone, no signal. Peering into the hallway through the peephole, she saw armed men herding night owls toward the atrium. "Oh God," she whispered, grabbing a robe and slipping out cautiously. Marcus and Mia barricaded their suite door with furniture. "Hijacking," Marcus said, his voice steady. His laptop, running on a private battery, showed the network in chaos. They've got full control. Mia nodded, pulling a hidden tablet from her bag. "Not for long. I've got a backdoor worm ready." In the atrium, passengers gathered under guard, fear etched on faces. Children clinged to parents. An elderly man wheezed in Kamek. Victor addressed them over the PA. "Ladies and gentlemen, remain calm. We are the Pacific Liberators. Your cruise line has exploited these sacred islands, polluting waters, displacing natives for profit. We demand $50 million by dawn, or consequences follow." A murmur rippled. A burly passenger lunged at a guard, Ivan, but was clubbed down mercilessly. Lena arrived, shoved into the crowd. She spotted Marcus and Mia nearby, their expressions resolute. Subtly, she caught Marcus's eye. "Plan?" she mouthed. He nodded imperceptibly. On the bridge, Victor bound Thorn to a chair. "Send the ransom demand," he ordered Dimitri, who used a pre-jammed burst transmitter to email the company. Thorn stalled. "The Coast Guard will notice our silence. They'll come." Victor laughed. "By then, we'll be ghosts. A submarine waits off Maui." But Dimitri frowned. "Boss, residual activity on a subnet. Someone's pushing back." It was Mia's worm, slowly eroding the jammer's code. Resistance forms. As false dawn tinged the sky, the ship drifted, engines idled to conserve fuel. Storm clouds gathered on the horizon, waves swelling. In the atrium, guards paced, rifles slung. Passengers sat in clusters, whispering. Lena, drawing on her fieldwork survival training, assessed options. Emergency exits? Vents? She remembered the ship's blueprints from a safety briefing. Service tunnels laced the hull. Nearby, Kaimamana the Elder sat cross-legged, eyes closed in meditation. He began a soft chant in Hawaiian, invoking Kanaloa, god of the ocean, and Pele, goddess of fire. Other locals joined, the melody swelling like a tide. Ivan barked, "Silence," but the chant persisted, a thread of defiance. Marcus slipped Mia's tablet to Lena under a bench. Pre-typed instructions glowed. "Access engineering terminal. Run this code to flood lower decks. Distraction." Lena nodded, pocketing it. She feigned illness, requesting a bathroom break. A guard, Alexei, escorted her reluctantly. In the corridor, she tripped him with a leg sweep learned from self-defense classes, grabbing his radio before he recovered. "Sorry," she muttered, fleeing into a side passage. In the engine room, a junior engineer named Thomas hid in the ventilation shafts. He had evaded capture and was quietly loosening fuel valves, aiming to stall the engines without explosion. Mia, from her spot, continued hacking. "Almost through," she whispered to Marcus. Victor paced the bridge, monitoring. Status. "Ransom clock ticking," Dimitri said. "But that subnet, it's fighting." "Find it," Victor snapped. Alarms suddenly wailed, flooding in the bilge. Lena had reached a terminal, executed the code. Water pumps reversed, spewing seawater into non-critical areas. "Sabotage!" Victor roared. "Teams hunt them down." Chaos erupted. In the atrium, passengers surged as guards diverted. A few brave souls tackled Sergei, who dropped his weapon. Gunfire cracked, warning shots. Marcus rallied a group, now to the bridge. He led retirees, families, and Lena, who rejoined them through crew stairs. Kaimamana handed out improvised weapons, broken chairs, fire extinguishers. "The gods aid the righteous," he said. As they ascended, Ivan charged down, roaring. Marcus dodged, Mia zapping him with a jury-rigged taser from ship wiring. Ivan crumpled. The battle at sea. The storm hit with fury, rain lashing the decks, thunder rumbling like artillery. Waves crashed over railings, the ship pitching wildly. On the bridge, Victor gripped the console, face pale. Thorn, bonds loosening from subtle struggles, watched for his moment. Lena's group navigated slippery corridors, evading patrols. "This way," she said, recalling layouts. They flanked the bridge via a maintenance hatch. In comms, Marcus confronted Dimitri. "Your jam's crumbling," he said, laptop in hand. With a final command, signals pierced through. Partial, but enough. "Mayday! Hijacked off helo!" Coast Guard alerts pinged distantly. Victor, sensing defeat, grabbed a detonator. If we can't have ransom, no one survives. Sink her. But Alexei hesitated. Boss, this is madness. Traitor! Victor shot him, the bang echoing. Lena burst through the hatch, fire axe from a wall mount in hand. Drop it! Melee ensued. Victor fired, bullets ricocheted. Lena swung, disarming him. Marcus tackled Dmitri, smashing the jammer. Thorne freed himself, wrestling Victor. Punches flew, blood spattered. Outside, Sergei, cornered on deck, triggered a charge, blowing a hull breach. Water surged in, but Tomas's sabotage limited damage. Engines sputtered, grounding the ship on a reef safely. Kaimamana appeared, scattering sea salt, a ritual ward. Pele claims you, he shouted, distracting Victor. Thorne pinned him. It's over. As lightning illuminated the scene, remaining hijackers surrendered, zip-tied by passengers. Coast Guard choppers thundered overhead, spotlights piercing the storm. Aftermath and aloha. Morning broke with clearing skies, the SS Paradise listing but intact on the reef. Helicopters evacuated passengers, medics tending wounds. Lena, bandaged from a graze, helped load stretchers. Marcus and Mia coordinated with authorities, their hacks providing evidence. Heroes, a rescuer said. Victor and survivors faced piracy charges, their submarine intercepted. The cruise line offered compensation, free voyages, counseling. Lena and Marcus shared coffee on shore. Fancy another cruise? He joked. She laughed. Only if you're navigating. Kaimamana blessed them. Aloha means love, peace, you honored it. The islands endured, their spirits unbroken. In the weeks that followed, Lena returned to research, invigorated, Marcus's firm partnering on maritime security. Friendships forged in fire lasted, a testament to human resilience amid Paradise's trials.